things. I feel like the Kendrick thing is the biggest thing. Like, it has to be the biggest thing. Let's just go. Let's start with that. The news of Kendrick's announcing that he's dropping his album on May 13th that launches for hip hop heads. A pretty crazy fucking, almost like 4 weeks in a row. You have Pusha T on Friday, then Future, then Jack Harlow the following week, and then Kendrick to close it out. Yeah. Like, bro, talk about Illuminati just coming together and just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. It's a good time too, because I feel like spring, like, people start becoming
summer,
happier.
Like, yo,
want to party.
Yeah, dude, outside. I've lost 14 pounds, bro. My stomach is gonna be out. Like, yo, we gotta have fucking music for this shit, bro.
Right.
So, your thoughts on just the idea? It's crazy. We were just talking about, Good Kid, Bad City. We were just talking about the anniversary of Damn. So, your just thoughts on getting a full body of work and not just a couple features?
Yeah. I'm like most people, super excited. But I think the thing that stuck out to me was, one, I forgot how long it's been since Damn. Like, that shit still kind of feels like yesterday, especially when we saw him at Rolling Loud. Like, that didn't feel that long ago, but it was.
What we said, it was 4 years or 5 years?
I think it was 2018 or 2017.
No, it's 2017. 5 years. Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's crazy that it's been that long. But I also thought to myself, like, I feel like Kendrick really is a unicorn, and I know a lot of people are saying that's like he is the GOAT, like Drake isn't. I don't know if a lot of that has to do with the fact that Drake is just constantly on the airwaves, so it never seems like he's ever gone. Therefore, you're never like desperate to get the next thing from him as much as a Kendrick. But I did feel
like it's almost like a hype thing. Like his scarcity almost hypes him up even more.
Scarcity, right? And I just have been thinking about the whole GOAT conversation, because I feel like core hip hop people would much more consider Kendrick a GOAT because his music is, I guess, more meaningful, more tied to like the Black experience, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Whereas Drake tends to be, his music's meaningful, but I think a lot of it's like just personal to him. It doesn't really speak on social issues quite as much or at all. So it just kind of made me think about that.
No, you're right though. But I think for him, it's like, and what I will give him credit, like, I'm not trying to be a Drake stan and like don't you fucking talk about him like that. But I do think for him, because I feel like from the very beginning, he always said that I want to give people the soundtrack to their life. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he does that because he's giving you like, yeah, it's personal to him. But like, bro, when all those like sad, heartbreaky songs come out, every nigga's like, yo, fuck, man. He gets it. You know what I mean? Like, so like, that's like, again, it's personal, but I feel like it's also like the human experience is probably more relatable because at the end of the day, like, Kendrick sometimes feels like he's speaking to one specific audience, whereas like Drake is speaking to literally anyone. You could be anyone, anywhere in the world and kind of relate to that experience. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think I'm just generally curious what the content is going to be about. I really hope it's not just like generic COVID, like conspiracy bars or like anything too obvious that comes across as preachy. I'm sure there'll be some mentions of, shit that's happened over the past couple of years, but I'm just really curious where his head's at because he's been so elusive. I think that's why a lot of people are going to be diving straight into this album as soon as it comes out. But I feel like people are going to critique it more from a content standpoint than anything. I don't think, like, when it comes to Drake's music, I feel like people are going to look straight for the vibe and quotables.
Yep.
Whereas with Kendrick, it's going to be more so, all right, like what new themes is he going to experiment with and what is he going to talk about and shit like that.
Yeah, what are the videos gonna look like? Is it gonna be like, because like I feel like all the videos for Damn were like fucking like groundbreaking, trend setting for how videos were shot for like the next 3 or 4 years.
Right.
You're right. No, I agree with almost everything, dude. I would say, yeah, I'm most interested for the content, but more so in this era, because again, I still feel like when he dropped this album 5 years ago, I know Spotify and Apple Music were already out for a minute, but that's really when it became like, all right, we're getting like 7 albums every fucking weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't at the peak of that like it is now, right? Like, you know, so the world still stopped to listen to Damn for multiple weeks, months, you know, almost the entire rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
I'm more curious, like, is this album going to be able to stop the current last 3 or 4 year trends of like, all right, cool, what's next? Like, that's what I'm most curious for, bro. Like, is this album's going to be, the thing is like, is it going to be good enough? Or like, even if it is good enough that we're just so like fucking like, what's next? And we won't even fucking give it a chance to properly like breathe. Like, you know, like people say like you air out wine, like let it fucking breathe for a second before we critique it overnight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is a confirmed rumor, but if he is going to retire, then I feel like that's going to make me more likely to prolong, I guess, the listening experience. Whereas like, I don't think J. Cole's done. I know he doesn't release quite as often, but after I was done with his past album, I didn't feel this urgency to kind of keep playing it over and over and be like, damn, like one of the GOATs, this is his last moment type of thing.
No, you're like, I'm gonna get something else. Then you got like 4 of the songs, right? Yeah.
Right. But Kendrick just gives off the vibe where he's like, he's done with this shit. He's accomplished so much. He already has like albums that people consider classics. I feel like for that reason, he's just like, what more do I really need to say? Maybe he's just getting off some last things off his chest with this one, but super, super curious. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait either, bro. And again, I'm excited though, because I think it will like make people stop and listen like on some like in-depth like understanding of what he's saying. Like I hopefully like that helps like set the trend back to some kind of normalcy of like, yo, we can like listen to music for weeks and try to figure out like what's actually being said, as opposed to like, oh, what happened? Did it sell 85K the first week? Oh, it only sold 9? Trash. You know what I mean? Let's move on. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see what the overall reaction will be, but more importantly, just the content, bro. Like, because funny, we were talking about something, I think you brought up Good Kid, Mad City. And then I realized, bro, that album came out like between like 2013, 2014. So that was like a weird time in my life that I was moving between Miami to Charlotte. Like I was obviously into music, but not like I've been the last like 7 years. So I never like, I listened to the album, but never properly like, yo, let me take a deep dive in this bitch. And bro, I did that on Saturday at the gym, bro. Flawless. Like, bro, like flawless.
It's like a movie, right?
Yo,
like it feels like listening to a movie almost.
Oh yeah, especially the deluxe version, bro. Because like the extended cuts, the bonus tracks for like Dre and Jay-Z, like fam, like so well done. So I think that was only like 8-9 years ago. And then he gave us like 2 more bodies of work that were insane. Right. And like it's just wild. Like again, he's just so out of the spotlight, so we don't think about him that much. But like, just the body of work is pretty fucking crazy. Like the catalog, I mean, like all the albums, mixtapes, like everything.
Yeah, and it's insane that he did it in a relatively short period of time, and it kind of makes me question, because ever since then, 2017, we'll say, there's been a lot of like newcomers to the game who have taken over. And like, for instance, Jack Harlow, who I know we have some things to discuss. Like Kanye said, he's top 5 right now. But when you listen to a Good Kid, Mad City versus Jack Harlow's debut album,
you're wasting my time.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like literally a waste of time. Even though I love Jack Harlow's music, it's just like they're in 2 different universes when it comes to like impact and content. And that's not to Jack Harlow's fault. It's just his experience isn't quite as different as a Kendrick's. Like Jack Harlow's like a regular dude. So I don't think he would necessarily even be capable of creating a Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah. So dude, what do you think it is? Like remove just like, I don't want to like tie into that one album. But what do you think is the mystique of Kendrick? Because I was trying to think of that as I was listening to the album. Like, is it just that we've never seen someone from LA rap, like, be that lyrical? Because that's what I think it is for me. Like I remember Game, Snoop, like those are the LA rappers that, again, us on the East Coast, like listen to, right? But we were never going to them for like, yo, give us some like fucking like bars that blow my mind, metaphors, double entendres, all this shit, deeper meaning shit. We never went to them for that, dude. You know what I mean? Whereas like I think with Kendrick, we're like, oh fuck, like, dude, you're from where? And you rap like this? And like this is better than everyone else. Like this is, you know, I think it's just like all those things like almost like don't make sense that we're trying to figure out like how does it even work?
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. And even Adam from No Jumper mentioned this, like, it's really strange to find a rapper, especially a rapper from LA, to not even be like a gang affiliated. Like, for instance, me, who's not gang affiliated at all, I find it kind of ostracizing because you would think I have nothing to say other than like Crips and Bloods and shit, just being from LA, even though that's not my lifestyle at all. But with Kendrick, even though that is what he was surrounded by, he doesn't purely make at all like gangbang shoot 'em up type music. It's very like introspective, and I guess a lot of people appreciate that he's able to put those paint those experiences in a way that doesn't tell just one side of the story. And he actually tells a story. I feel like a lot of the gangbang shit is just kind of like, yo, if I catch you slipping, I'm gonna do this, or like I grew up, you know, doing XYZ, and it's just like super cookie cutter that, and we've heard it a thousand times before. Whereas
like he literally said like, the phrase he used for Good Kid, Mad City, like a movie, right? Like I feel like there's like he'll give you the reasoning, the way he was raised up by his mom, but being away from his dad. By the third verse, you're like, yo, what's gonna happen next? You know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, like it's, you're so like bought in because of the way he delivers the overall story. Yeah, dude. So yeah, I'm super excited. But yeah, I think that I wanted to ask that question because like, yeah, it's like, dude, there's definitely a mystique. Like, I don't know, for me, like, again, growing up in New York or whatever, but like, I kind of understood J. Cole. I understood like Drake is a very like relatable figure to me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, tall, light skinned dude who loves talking about girls. Yeah, I got it. but like, yeah, like Kendrick stuff, I'm like, yo, I don't really get it. But like, yo, you can't take your eyes off it, or you can't like stop listening, which is you know, amazing.
And he adds, not only is he lyrical, but he adds so much character to his voice and stuff. Kind of like how Nicki Minaj, you know, when she switches up her voice and goes real deep and does the whatever, like almost.
Yeah, so that's funny. I didn't have the Nicki Minaj reference, but that's definitely a good one. I was thinking about like DMX on some of his songs, like Damien, like when on that song, like on Swimming Pools, when he's like, "This is your conscious speaking, Kendrick," like
like stuff like that.
Yeah, that was dope. And I was like, oh, this is like, but it's still done. You have like a reference point, but like you wouldn't think someone rapping in 2014 can still bring such nuances to that approach.
Right. And he could say something as basic as, you know, you want this dude. And like he'll have like 15-year-old white girls screaming that shit in the club. But like a lot of other lyrical people won't do that. Like Lupe, for instance, doesn't really have bars like that. But he definitely does have some mainstream stuff. But I feel like Kendrick appeals to like hardcore hip hop lovers of the music who will respect him, but then the white girl in the suburbs will also love Kendrick, and he can bring everyone together.
Yeah, dude. So like that's you use a phrase there, mainstream. Dude, he made being lyrical mainstream. Because now it's just whatever he does is mainstream, even if it's not like the intent behind the song. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have like a pop driven song, but it's like, dude, you're just so popular. We're gonna make sure. Like, do you remember like for Damn, like I think every single song was on the charts because like people just kept listening to it over and over again. Like shit like that is wild. But again, like he just makes everything mainstream because like everyone wants to listen to it.
And besides him, or before him, my favorite LA rapper was The Game. But to your point, I think he was just like a kind of stereotypical gangbang rapper. So it wasn't.
I think, but to be fair, he did have a massive impact. Like he made,
for sure.
Like, he was the first gangbang music to really like blow up like that. Like that first album went like 4 or 5 times platinum. Like no one was doing that shit before him. So kudos to him for that.
Yeah, and I still bump his old bodies of work. But Kendrick was just so refreshing because he like we just talked about, was able to paint a different picture of his environment in ways that like no one else really had done, and no one else was even really doing that in from other regions in a mainstream way.
No.
Like him.
No.
So
100% right, dude.
Yeah.
100% right. So yeah, dude, super fucking. Yeah, what's the name of the album going to be again? Do you remember?
I think Mr. Morals and the Big Steppers or something.
Something like that. I'm excited, dude. I'm sure it's going to be also a fire Baby Keem feature, or probably like 2 or something. So,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, dude. Very, very excited for that. Fuck, dude. Baby Keem brings him out at Coachella. Woo! I'm gonna put that shit out in the universe right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I think Baby Keem has like a 3 p.m. set, so I doubt it.
Oh, no. Kendrick ain't showing up early.
He's like, you know,
how funny would that be, though, if Kendrick was like the first set or some shit?
Dude, just like fuck with people.
Yeah.
Like, literally no one's there. Like,
yeah.
Like